Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures,
the podcast that fuels your passion for obstacle course racing, running, and adventure.
Since 2017, we have released weekly episodes for the seasoned pros,
weekend warriors, and everything in between.
We discuss the industry news, travel for live coverage,
and interview athletes and key voices in the athletic community.
We cover it all, from fundraising events, personal triumphs,
to world records, FKTs, and world championships.
Standing on the corner.
Now let's get started with your hosts.
Lost all my clothes.
Michael Stefano and Katelyn Ritter.
Hey guys, it's Michael Stefano.
And Katelyn Ritter.
And Katelyn, how was your weekend?
It was good. Yesterday was socially exhausting.
Yes, I'm socially hungover today. That's for damn sure.
And Lucy went to camp overnight.
Yeah, so we typically send her to like this camp a couple times a week, but this was the first time that she stayed overnight, and hopefully it went well. They said that she should be tired. No, that she should be like
They
well
said
rested.
she slept, but she went in her crate for about 5 hours. Mm-hmm. You took her out and she was sleeping, and now she's passed out on the heated blanket.
Yes, hopefully that continues tomorrow too, because I think I'm working from home. We'll see. And I'm still very sore from the teddy bear crawl too.
I'm so disappointed that I missed the video. Mike's teddy bear crawling. No.
Oh, the video. Yeah.
I'm not disappointed I missed the teddy bear crawl. Mm-hmm. Heck no.
You strategically stretched and you paid for an extra extension to your stretching.
I didn't know the teddy bear crawl was at 4 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Oh.
So when he was like, I have a 4 o'clock opening, I was like, I'll take it.
No. You had a 3:30 opening.
No, I had a 4.
Oh, I took the 3:30 opening. That's right. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it was a teddy bear crawl until I was like, you're like, it's starting in 3 minutes.
But we're
like,
most disappointed in that I finished the teddy bear crawl dead last because...
You were the only one crawling the whole time.
Right, yeah. I just figured like if I wanted that cool medal, I wanted to work for it. And so I did. So I was the last one to finish, just sweating. And like as I approached the finish line, there was a dog that was licking the sweat off.
Like followed you around, and somehow my video did not capture that.
She got like 3 seconds of not that. Yeah, it happens. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors.
Shout out Mudgear. Use code ADVENTURE for 15% off your next purchase, and Caterpie. Use code OCR Report 20 for 20% off your next Caterpie purchase. And if you're running a Spartan, Tough Mudder, or Deca, use OCR Report 20 for 20% off your next Spartan Monopoly purchase.
Yeah. And let's give a shout out to our $5+ Patreon supporters.
Jason Dupree and his pretty blue eyes, Samantha Thompson, Bradley Keel, Charlotte Engelman, Aaron Grindstaff, Laura and Stephen Ritter, who we'll see next weekend, Hank and Arlene Stefano, Cheryl Miller, Jessica Johnson, Christopher Hoover, Kevin Gregory Jr., Evan Irick, Brent George, Logan Nagel, Seth Rinderknecht, Steve Bacon, Robert Landman, and Jules Estes.
Yes, thank you guys so much for the support. We greatly appreciate it. And real quick, a shout out to Charlotte Engelman, who helped donate to Mark Duplessis' fundraiser.
Yeah, yes. Mark Duplessis has hit over $1,000 fundraised.
Yeah, he was very excited, and he saw that you donated to Charlotte, so thank you so much for the support. And to the OCR Report for being a great home for us on the internet.
And to Will Hicks.
The Podfather. Check it out over at theocrreport.com. Hopefully they'll be getting back to posting podiums, because there isn't too much to talk about in news, but we'll get there shortly. And to our sponsored athletes.
Javier Escobar.
He says he misses us too.
Oh.
Yeah, we reached out to him, sent some fun videos.
Kelly Sullivan, who crushed the Decas.
Yes, she did, as always. Ryan Brzezlar, who I got an update from Jared Newby. Sounds like he's doing well. He got married and hopefully becoming a cop, which is one of his dreams. So excited for him there.
Joshua Reed.
I think of him every time I take my protein powder because he recommended the company. It's so good.
And Kevin Gregory Jr.,
who we missed out on seeing this weekend. Wish he was able to come, but both him and Jess were busy. Poll results. I don't believe we had a poll. Meme of the week. I kind of have a meme. Should we do it?
You can go. I have a meme.
Oh, okay. So Katelyn found it, which means I have to describe it.
I don't know. Is this a meme?
I'm trying to see what Katelyn handed to me. It's a aerial shot for, a whole bunch of people running.
And it says, different people, same finish line.
Okay. And it says, first 5K ever, came here solo, supporting their best friend, going through heartbreak, going through anxiety, here for vibes, training for a marathon, just moved to a new city, recovering from surgery on a wellness journey. Yeah, it's fun.
I didn't know if it counted as a meme, but I like it.
Well, I mean, most of the pictures we do aren't memes, but that's the funny thing is that this is an audio only medium, and yet we're describing something as a picture.
I just thought it was nice that it's like, yeah, we all show up for the same race, we all cross the same finish line, but we're all like internally battling.
Yeah, I like that.
And we show up for our own reasons.
Nice. Do we have a badass of the week?
No.
Okay, we'll have to get back to that next week. But some quick news. There were some Spartan rule updates made somewhat recently. Apparently they removed the use of non-liquid chalk to no chalk allowed at all.
Oh, I saw that. People got big feelings.
Yeah, I think it's a small change. Like, do the obstacle or don't. Like, chalk's not the biggest deal. It's not like they're going to be doing... It's not like they're doing, like, Goliathon obstacles, right?
You know who that reminds me of?
Oh, yeah. Rylan Shadig.
Mm-hmm.
Which, real quick, massive shout out to Jared Newby, who gave me a sticker of the Live Free Die.
Live wild, die free.
Yeah, oh my god, I was second guessing myself.
Live wild, die free.
Yes, which was a saying that he had and everything, and so I very much appreciated that because he knew that I knew Rylan, and
yeah, it was like the first thing he did when we walked in. He came over and handed you a sticker.
Yeah, I was so happy to see him, but we'll get to that in a bit. There's another update: no more Hyrox post-race challenges.
Hybrid Media Fitness posted Hyrox has updated the Elite 15 process, limiting challenges to unsportsmanlike conduct only. This comes after an Elite 15 doubles team had a qualification spot revoked hours after the race, following a challenge that originated outside the race and was then brought up by other Elite 15 athletes.
Yeah, so update for the hybrid people out there, because I don't know, Hyrox is doing really crappy with rules, so hopefully they're able to buckle down and fix all that stuff.
When I read this, when I was previewing the notes for this episode, I thought it meant like fun challenges.
Yeah, I did too. When I was writing that, I thought that was kind of funny. Next up, since we didn't talk about it on the episode that we covered it, and no one posted about it, but I wanted to go over the City Field Spartan podium, so I had to go on the OCR, the Spartan website. And for third place, we had Cara Van Dushort. In second place was Taylor Ray. And in first place was Emily Angel, who unfortunately, I reached out to her. I felt really bad. I saw her, and I almost didn't register that she won. I had no idea that she won, so I missed her in the interview.
And for the men, oh, this is fun. From Canada, Sebastian Ballard. Is that Ecuador? No, Ecuador has a thing in the middle. I think it's
Colombia.
From Colombia, Ivan Bautista. And in first place, from the United States, Joshua Gonzalez.
Yeah. So again, last episode, or 2 episodes ago, we did live coverage of it. One of those athletes had some suspicious shenanigans that happened. But if you want to see what happened with that, you can watch the video. We really do a good job covering that.
Also, I need to preview the flags before I start saying things, because I know America and I know Canada, and the rest is pretty limited.
That's correct. Next up, we're going to go to France and go over their leaderboard updates.
Why do you always say it that way?
Because the model. I'm not going to explain that meme. Plenty of people understand it. I'll explain it off the mic. But for the France National Series, we'll go over the top 5.
In 5th place, Espen Bergot. In 4th place, Florian Clement. In 3rd place, Charlie Almir. In 2nd place, Jeremy Gotch.
And
in 1st place, Tabalt Jean.
There you go. And for the ladies.
In 5th place, Quinny Verhan. In 4th place, Ilaria Paltrainer. In 3rd place, Inez Theovano Monet. In 2nd place, Mallory Kabad. And in 1st place, Perrine Abdadi.
Perfect. Yeah, that's only after one race, but we don't really have a lot of updates, so we're talking about what we can talk about.
Mario, those names are for you.
Yeah. And then for the Spartan Southern National Series, or Spartan National Series South, whatever they're calling it, the podiums for that. So far, in
third place for women, Jillian Heller. In 2nd place, Petra Costa. And in 1st place, Catherine Hansen. And for the men, in 3rd place, Alvaro Vasquez. In 2nd place, Brent Trail. And in 1st place, Adam Beach.
Yeah, so congratulations to them. It's weird. I thought for some reason that Jacksonville was the start of the U.S. National Series. I'll have to look back into, I don't know. There's so many different series now. It's kind of hard to keep track of. But at least it's not all sprints. So happy about that, because we don't think we covered really anything last year about that. 5 single links down below, so go and check those out. But let's finally get to what this episode is all about.
What's it about, Mikey?
Another very successful New England OCR Expo. Again, I may be a bit biased because I've been on the board of directors for this event for the past few years. But we had the chance to talk to many vendors, athletes, and other participants who back up the claim. So there's 2 parts planned for this coverage, yet again. This part focuses on the vendors. We made a switch from previous years, and I've manned the vendor table while Katelyn conducted interviews with almost all the vendors who came out to the expo. The vendors interviewed in this episode were
a Dana-Farber charity fundraiser and a Dana-Farber charity runner, Oscar Mike, Moon Phoenix Rising, Nata Cook Challenge, Neighborhood Ninjas, Soldier Solution, Strength and Speed, Operation Enduring Warrior, Obstacle Running Adventures, Stride for Service, Noob Sanity, Berserk Brew, Teddy Bear Crawl Foundation, Dealers of Hope, Athletic Brewing, MMB Performance and Force Fitness, OCR Buddy and Midwest OCR, Obstacle Wonderland, Rush Fitness, Northeast OCR Community, Human Powered Endurance, and Lion Hearts Fitness.
Yeah, so it was a busy day. Katelyn did great with the interviews. Let's get to those now.
So let's start with your name and where you're from.
My name is Margaret, and I'm from East Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, where in East Boston?
It's called Jeffrey's Point. We look over the harbor, and I'm one of the quiet areas of the East Boston.
Oh, that's so nice. My brother lives in East Boston, down by the tall ship in Down East.
Actually, your brother lives very close to me then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I live above Down East, and the tall ship's at the bottom of the hill.
He lives on Jacob.
Point?
No. It's Jacob, but it's spelled weird.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
There's Orleans, Marginal, Everett, Sumner, Webster, Jeffrey Street, Marginal. He's probably close to the square.
Yes. Okay, but besides East Boston, and my husband's grandfather grew up there, a lot. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
everybody has relatives they can trace back to East Boston. I'm convinced, because everywhere I go, someone's like, "Oh, my uncle used to live in East Boston," or "My aunt used to live in East Boston," or "I used to live in East Boston."
What's your favorite East Boston pizza place?
Oh, I'm not getting in trouble with that. No. I'm pleading the fifth. It's so many other places would never let me through the door again.
That's fair. I'm a big fan of Dirty Dough.
So I don't know. There's Dirty Dough. I like Kelly's old school pub.
Okay.
For the full menu. Pizza. There's multiple places you could go to. It's like pupusas and tacos. In East Boston, you can't choose just one.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
You're gonna get in trouble.
But what are you at the OCR Expo representing today?
So I'm here with my friend Becky, and she is running the Boston Marathon in support of Dana-Farber. She is an amazing woman. At almost 50, she's going for her 6th star. She ran New York Marathon and Berlin Marathon last year, and she's out here because she's lost family members to cancer, and she feels really strongly about helping to support innovative cancer research. So we're out here today. We're doing raffle tickets. We're doing 5 for $5, arm length for 10, or arm span for 20. Anybody's arm span that you want.
I feel like maybe you should change that rule, because Jarrett Newby is 6'5", just got me how many tickets?
40. He got you almost 60 tickets for $20. So that's pretty good. That's almost 3 for $1. That's a good deal.
That is an excellent deal. For people who are unfamiliar with Dana-Farber, can you tell me a little bit more about the organization and the research they do?
So I can tell you a little. Becky's going to tell you more, but I can just tell you they're a world-class research facility providing life-saving treatment, cancer treatment for a wide variety of cancers. Cancer is one of those, it's like arthritis. It's one of those diseases that affects everybody. Somebody who has it. Science tells us that almost everyone will get some form of cancer at some form of their life because it's a mutation of cells. And we just, as much as we know now, there's so many different types of cancers that you can live with, that you that you can walk away from. There's still so many that you can't, that it's, by the time it's diagnosed, it's the end. And so it's one of those things, we know so much, but we also know that there's so much we don't know. So, funding research is like Becky's doing by running the Boston Marathon is just an amazing, amazing thing. I'm so proud of her. I could never do it. So
never say never. You just don't know what the odds may become.
That's true. But Becky helped me train to do a couple of 5Ks, and the amount of commitment she did to do a couple of to help me do a couple of 5Ks, get me running. I'm just so in awe of her, of all she does for running marathons. So she's incredible. She ran a race this morning before coming here to this event. Yeah.
If people want to learn more about Becky's charity for the Boston Marathon or Dana-Farber, where should they go? What should they do?
You should search on Dana-Farber's page for their Boston Marathon runners, and they should look for Becky, Becky, Annacone, Annacone. And she is on there. She is fundraising. She's trying to raise $17,000. She is over halfway there, and we're hoping to do really well today, like helping bump her up towards her goal, because she's incredible.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
I'm Becky Annacone, and I'm from Medford, Massachusetts.
Perfect. And Becky, what is your role at the expo today?
I am fundraising for the Dana-Farber Marathon Challenge in order to run the Boston Marathon.
Are you looking to run the Boston Marathon this year, or is this like a future marathon?
Oh, it's this year. It's less than a month away. I just had my long run.
How's your training going for it?
It's been going pretty well. It has been tough. The weather's been really miserable. I've been out there as long as it's double digits, even if there's ice on the ground, snow falling from the sky. I still got to get that run in. I'm out there. I'm hitting the Newton Hills. It's happening.
That's incredible. And I've never run a marathon, but I hear there's nothing like Boston.
That's what I've heard too. I've done the virtual course. I've heard incredible things, so I'm really psyched. I can't wait. That's where, even before I started running, I always thought it'd be great to do the Boston Marathon. And even when I started doing 5Ks, like, I could never be a marathoner, but I always had it at the back of my mind. I wanted to do Boston, and now I'm here.
And for people who don't know, it's very hard to qualify for Boston by speed. So you're going the fundraising route. What made you decide to do the Dana-Farber Foundation? Is it the foundation? Or is it? Okay. Why Dana-Farber?
So it's a cause that's near and dear to my heart, and actually everything aligned very well. I've been wanting to do Dana-Farber for a while. I had a dear friend, Ken McDonald, who passed away a few years ago from multiple myeloma. But yeah, it's very hard to get in, even for charity. But last year, it all really came into focus, where my father has had bladder cancer for a few years. He was starting to fade away, and he lives hundreds of miles away in New Jersey. I'm in Massachusetts. And at the same time, my husband was diagnosed with a rare cancer, which is ampullary adenocarcinoma. So it's a cancer of the bile duct near the liver. So he was diagnosed at the same time. So I was going every other weekend, splitting my time trying to care for them both. And my father passed away in July.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So it's been rough, but this is what my husband needs. His cancer is chemo resistant. He did the chemo. It spread anyway. There's not a lot that's known about this cancer. And that's how multiple myeloma was a few years ago. There's already innovations in multiple myeloma on the horizon. I hope the same is going to come true for ampullary adenocarcinoma. So yeah, I'm exactly where I need to be. We're fundraising the money for research for my husband and covering patient care. So if I could just speak a moment about patient care, everything about Dana-Farber is amazing. Even just showing up at their Newton campus, parking is free. They have free valet parking. They have free snacks and meals for the patients and their caregivers. They really take care of you. They make sure you have everything you need, but that funds have to come from somewhere.
Right. And I feel like people who are walking into places like Dana-Farber, they're walking in on their worst day. So to have that support and to not worry about costs is incredible.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just great to know, I didn't have a chance to grab a coffee before I left, or I'm starving. Like, they're going to take care of us. And just everyone's so cheerful. Even the parking attendants, everyone's just so upbeat, so happy. It's wonderful to be there. The reason for being there isn't great, but everyone really helps.
Right. So I hear you're looking to fundraise $17,000, and you're more than halfway there. So what are your final fundraising events other than this one?
So I haven't planned a whole lot out just yet. I would like to have either right before or right after the marathon, I might have a local event and just invite the community to come. I'm still figuring that out. Okay. That's the one thing I found about charity fundraising. It's not just eating the elephant, it's eating multiple elephants at the same time and just trying to figure out what works.
If people want to follow along with your journey to the Boston Marathon, where can people find you?
I'll provide a link. If you go to the Dana-Farber website, there is a list of runners, and I'm under Becky Annacone, Annacone, and also provide a direct link.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Becky.
I'm Joey Decker, and I am from Taylor, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Where is that in Pennsylvania?
Right by Scranton. If you've ever seen The Office on TV, that's where everybody knows us from.
Okay. I grew up in northern New Jersey, so I have a lot of family in Pennsylvania. But who are you representing today at the expo?
We're representing the Oscar Mike Foundation. We're a 501c3 nonprofit that works with wounded veterans, keeping them active through adaptive sports.
Oh, awesome. And can you tell me, so you're keeping veterans active through adaptive sports, but where does the name Oscar Mike come from?
Oscar Mike is radio jargon for on the move. When you're in combat and they need you to get going right that second, they'll say, get Oscar Mike.
Okay, as a civilian, I always thought Oscar Mike was named after somebody.
You're not the only one. There's a lot of people asked who Oscar is.
That's fair. How did you get started in the Oscar Mike Foundation?
I got started a decade ago this year. My brother served as well, and he was in Afghanistan with one of our ambassadors, Earl Granville, when he lost his leg. And he introduced me to Earl, and that was the start of it, and I'm still here.
What makes you keep coming back?
The Oscar Mike Foundation helped save my life, so watching it and being able to be a part of something bigger that actually you can see is working and changing people's lives and giving them purpose again and the ability to get out and do things they didn't think they could do. It's just one of those things, you'd be a moron to pass up on the opportunity to be a part of it. Right. So for me, it was just I had to be a part of it.
Yeah. Is the obstacles that you're helping veterans overcome, is it always physical obstacles, or is it also like mental health care and like physical care?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. No, it's everything. The physical is mainly just an outlet, you know, for the underlying issues we all deal with, whether they're physical, mental, you know, emotional. The camaraderie is another part of it people don't really look to. They say, oh, you're going out, you're running a race, but they don't see, you know, the brotherhood and the camaraderie of helping each other through, which a lot of times is what, it's not necessarily the race itself, it's who you're with at the race and what you're bringing to help them. That's kind of where I fall into it. I've done almost 200 Spartan races, and at this point now, I'm there because the mission is too important to fail. So but yeah, there's multiple aspects. That was an amazing question, actually. No one's ever asked me that before. Yeah, it's usually, you know, how long is the race? How hard do you go? That's a great question because a lot of it does play into the mental health as well as the physical. So, yeah.
Well, thank you. And then for somebody like me, a civilian, how could I get involved with Oscar Mike?
It's very easy. You reach out to me or someone else that's a part of the team. We are not veteran exclusive as far as volunteers go. If you want to volunteer, you know, you're more than welcome to go out and volunteer. Help us help other veteran athletes. And we also help civilian athletes as well. You know, just because we are veterans doesn't mean civilians are excluded. How many civilians I know that have tons of family members that served, so they just want to give back to thank them. So yeah, we anybody who wants to come out and get their hands dirty and really work hard and help some veterans, we'll let anybody come out and give it a try.
That's awesome. If people want to learn more about Oscar Mike, where can they go?
www.oscarmike.org.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Jen. I'm from Connecticut, and I'm here for Oscar Mike and Moon Phoenix Rising.
Perfect. I just talked to somebody over at Oscar Mike, but do you want to give your perspective on the charity and what you do with Oscar Mike?
Sure. I found Oscar Mike when my son was deployed back in 2021 after having done obstacle course races for a few years. So I support the team in whatever way I can, whether it's racing on the course or writing about them, talking about them, and the work that I do.
That's awesome. And then let's shift gears a little bit. What kind of work do you do with your writing and your books?
Yeah, so right now I am working in the field of addiction, and I work in adventure-based counseling and strength training, yoga, to help people change their nervous system and overcome trauma. And so what I've written that's here today are two different books. One is Forged by Fire, and it talks about kind of what obstacle course racing really does to change our brain, to change our body, our hearts, our spirit, as we connect through community to really heal ourselves. So it's not just fun racing, as so many of us know. And I have a lot of stories from different athletes that they wanted to share just how powerful obstacle course racing has been in their lives to help them heal from trauma, medical challenges, divorce, addiction, and other things.
That's incredible. And so is the work you're doing more like using adventure to like rewire like the brain and like brain chemicals? Like what? Can you just elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all of that. So the work that I'm doing is just introducing people to embodiment, to exercise, whether it's through adaptive sports and obstacle course racing, or if people are just brand new into it and they really don't have a lot of connection to fitness. And what a lot of the research shows is that it actually changes our ability to increase oxytocin, which is kind of the friendship community love chemical. It actually can help us with our dopamine. So when we want these kind of rewards in that system of our brain, and it can also change serotonin and norepinephrine and amongst other neurochemicals. So a lot of that is depleted when we are faced with mental health challenges, whether it's depression, anxiety, trauma, if we've been through active addiction. These are all parts of our brain and our neurochemicals that get depleted. So through racing, through that enjoyment, through the activation of our nervous system, and then doing it in community with others, we're not only just having fun, we're repairing all of that.
Absolutely. What would you say to people out there who are maybe in a dark place or need some sort of mental health help? Like, what should their first step be?
Yeah, absolutely. So that part of that is included in the book too, of how people can get into this. But from my own personal experience, in 2017, I came into this world having been through a lot of different life challenges. I was about 225 pounds, and I did my first Spartan. And I think I managed maybe 6 burpees the whole race, right? I climbed over one of the walls, and it took me almost 4 hours to do a sprint. And so I was, crying, having the feelings, connecting to some people, and everyone I met on the course lent a hand to me, said something really motivating and kind, and I just fell in love. So it's been a huge part of my own healing journey, and you can just go, even if you're just saying, look, I'm going to do what I can, because we're all here to support in this community.
And I find sometimes the hardest part is signing up.
Yeah. So I think that, it's with anything, right? Like even if you're engaged in step work through AA or NA, it's taking that first step, and it's one step at a time. So signing up, finding a community online, asking some people questions might be that first step. And you're going to find dozens of people that are like, just come. And even a lot of organizations that will say, you know what, we have a ticket for you. Come try it out.
Perfect. If people want to learn more about Oscar Mike or more about the work that you're doing, where could they find you?
I really think the easiest place is probably Facebook. So you can look up OscarMike.org. You can go on Facebook and look up Team Oscar Mike. I'm on Facebook as Jen Ann or Moon Phoenix Rising, and that's probably the most direct connection.
Can I actually ask you a question? Moon Phoenix Rising, where did that name come from?
So great question. So many of us have heard of the Phoenix, right? And so the title of my book is Forged by Fire, right? So coming through fire, coming through the ashes. And a lot of the work I also do outside of OCR is shadow work, which is parts of ourselves that kind of we hide from others. Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. It's the parts that, we often don't share until we're really connected with someone. And then they kind of see our like nitty gritty true selves. Yeah. And the shadow for me, is more in the moon and at night. So rather than just Phoenix, I felt like the moon, like rising from the shadows, rising from challenge, from darkness, from those edgy parts of ourselves or experiences, to be able to burn brightly and freely into the world.
I love that. I've never actually heard of shadow work before, but my now husband, we were together for like 3 or 4 years before I knew he had like extensive like depression and like suicide attempts. And I was like, why didn't you just tell me sooner? So like that's fascinating that's like a whole...
Right? It's those parts of self, those experiences that we might have shame around. We're embarrassed. We feel, oh my gosh, if somebody knows this about me, they're going to not like me, right? They're not going to trust me. They're not going to connect with me. So we keep these parts of ourselves and experiences hidden right, in this place. And then, we all know, because we all have shadows, they pop up. Like, we can't keep them hidden. They pop out, wherever we are. And I think that's one of the things I've really found, especially from Oscar Mike, but then just through being in obstacle course races, is we're here to hold each other's shadows, to embrace it and say, yeah, we're all a little messed up, right? Yeah. We all have this stuff, and it's okay. Like, we can hold space for all of us, right? Absolutely. And the things that we're proud of and the things we might have shame around, and we're all here together.
Well, thank you so much, Jen. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Absolutely.
Can you say that again?
You're way better than your husband.
Thank you. So, James, let's start with your name and where you're from.
James Golisano, and I'm from Ringe, but I'm here representing Merrimack Parks and Recreation.
Okay, so tell me about the Parks and Rec that you're representing.
So Merrimack Parks and Rec, this is our 7th year running our 5K obstacle course race called the Natticook Challenge. It's a beginner's obstacle course race with 10 or more beginner to intermediate level obstacles that are family-friendly, kid-friendly, and beginner-friendly.
Perfect. And when is the event?
September 26th this year, and I hope to have my waves ready to go by 9, which in years past, bathroom has taken people a little longer, so I've had to push the wave time back. But I'm going to be ready for it this year.
Can I do a little side note that I've never realized how bad race porta potties are until I went to somewhere and there was a porta potty and I was like, oh, and I got in there and I was like, oh, it's clean. I can sit down in here.
You know what? I fully feel you on that one, because there has been a race that I went to where the porta potties down at the parking lot level were literally full to an inch of the top, and you'd be scared to sit down on that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. So 9 a.m. start time. How long do most people take to complete the course?
So I test run my course multiple times myself before it ever happens, and I'm usually in like the 30-minute time frame from a intermediate to advanced racer. But I've had people take between an hour and a half to 2 hours to complete it, because it's meant as a fun introductory run.
So you're not out there screaming at people do burpees. You're not shocking them in electroshock therapy, are you?
No, but I would love to put some electricity in there. No, I really wouldn't.
Would you?
No, I don't think I would. I want to keep it beginner and kid-friendly.
Right. Oh, yeah, the family part. So stepping away from the Natticook Challenge, how did you get into OCR?
Back in 2012, I tried my first Tough Mudder and realized that I could barely pull myself up over the Berlin walls, because I had, as an ex-athlete, I let myself go a little bit. So I was in my early 30s, and then I decided to get motivated and do more races and get fit for them. And then I've grown since then and started up a small ninja space and this race. Okay,
so the Natticook Challenge is like your baby.
It is, yep. Yeah, I started it 7 years ago. I even won a award in the Parks and Rec world for it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. What was the award?
It was the Kim Perkins Award for Innovative Program Design.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was quite caught off guard by it. I didn't expect it.
No, that's a huge accomplishment. I feel like the award should be sitting at your table right now.
It should. I didn't even think about bringing the plaque with me.
Yeah, if I came over and saw somebody had an award, I'd be like, oh, I need to go sign up for their race.
That's brilliant. I'm going to do that next year.
If people want to hear, another question. Are you going to World's Toughest Mudder this year?
I am, and I'm not prepared for it as every other year in the past.
What do you mean not prepared for it?
I haven't been running as much as I should, and I have too many upper body injuries, so my obstacle readiness might be a little bit light.
So if you go and you're like, oh, this isn't fun, you'll just hang out at Mudderhorn and lift people over?
Not a horrible idea. I have toyed with that, but if I run and I'm not up to par, I'm still just going to push forward most likely. And
party pace?
Yeah, one foot in front of the other, stay out there, socialize, and be the good-spirited racer to encourage everybody else out on course.
I have to tell you, we found, and Caroline Clifford and I ran together last year, and we found you at, what was that horrible mileage that they added?
That was the Killer Gorilla up and down that hill that came in the middle of the night. I remember.
Yes, and we found you at Killer Gorilla, and it was the highlight of that lap.
Excellent. I'm happy that I had that effect.
So you do bring the good vibes.
I love it.
If people want to learn more about the Natticook Challenge, where would they find information?
So they can go on merrimackparksandrec.org and then navigate to the Natticook Challenge, and that's where the registration can happen, and there's more info. And I work 8 to 4 p.m. on Monday through Friday, so anyone can call up the Merrimack Parks and Rec and talk with me in person anytime, and I will talk their ear off and tell them all about it.
I didn't know I could call you up and talk to you while you're on the clock. That is very tempting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tyler Mosession from Stamford, Connecticut.
Perfect. And Tyler, what are you here representing today?
Today I'm representing Neighborhood Ninjas.
Can you tell me a little bit about what Neighborhood Ninja does?
Yep, so they're currently building large playgrounds in vacant spaces to make Ninja Warrior more accessible for youth and adults and everyone around. We also do raise money to send people of lower incomes to world championships that involve travel or high expenses, things of that nature. So we do scholarships for those folks.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't realize that you also did scholarships.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's one of the main things that we do. Usually send about 10 to 12 people per year over to world championships for the World Ninja League over in North Carolina.
Okay, let's go back to building playgrounds. Where are you guys currently building playgrounds? Because it's like usually like one specific location at a time, right?
Right, yeah. As you can imagine, it's a big undertaking. So we've got one in Wilmington, Delaware, and then Lee, Massachusetts.
Perfect. And then how do you decide, like, yes, this is where we're going to build a playground?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, vacant space or even a need for it, right? You know, different areas. A lot of areas around here we are right now in West Boylston. As many people know, we're at a huge Ninja Warrior gym now. Right. So areas that maybe don't have as much access, like area out west, west of Amherst, doesn't have that many options to go to for Ninja Warrior gym. So things like that.
Is it usually like lower income neighborhoods?
Yeah, like I said, lower income, or also, like I said, ones that don't really have access to a lot of playgrounds. Like, some people do want to train on Ninja Warrior courses, but they just don't have the funds to, go to these places that maybe cost a lot of money. So, yeah.
No, that makes sense. Are you guys currently fundraising for the playground in Massachusetts?
Yep. So that's what we're fundraising for, as well as if people are ninja, they know it's ninja season right now. The regionals is in May in Tingsboro, so local to here. But then the Worlds, once again, is in North Carolina. So raising money to send as many people who qualified, young athletes who qualified over there who otherwise would have to miss it.
Perfect. If somebody's interested in getting involved in your foundation or donating their money, where can they do that?
Yep, so they could go to neighborhoodninjas.org or email info@neighborhoodninjas.org.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tyler.
You're welcome.
Edwin from Wallingford, Connecticut.
Perfect. And what are you representing here today at the Expo?
Soldier Solutions, a veteran-run company. Also, what we do here, we actually work with a company called TADSAW, Train a Dog, Save a Warrior. We work with rescues out of kill shelters, give them free of cost to each vet. Our main goal, try to get rid of 22-a-day suicides with our veterans. Since 2018, we've rescued over 90 dogs, paired them up with over 90 veterans, all free of cost. The company themselves, TADSAW, veteran-owned and operated, 501c3, themselves since 2010 has actually rescued over 1,700 dogs.
That is incredible.
And that's why we work with them. Yeah.
So they rescue the dogs from the shelter, and then do they go through like extensive training?
So we give the dogs straight to the veteran. Okay. So now it forces the veteran and the dog to get that companionship together with that training. And then, of course, with that training gives that veteran something to do, build that camaraderie, the trust, the love for the dog with each other, and it just builds on from there. So that training goes on from between 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
And so that's where all the success comes from with the dogs.
I love that. So you're giving them a friend and a purpose.
Yes.
If people if somebody's like, oh, that sounds like something that I need in my life, how can they get involved in that work?
So they can go on tadsaw.org, which will bring them up to the site. And if he's a veteran or a family member of a veteran as well, or they actually extended their stuff, which now they do family members, first responders, and also civilians, community members, not just Train a Dog, Save a Warriors for the veterans, but they do all that now.
I love that. So it's for children and community members with long-term medical conditions or disabilities. Oh.
And they also do seizures as well.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yes. So this program, that's why we work with them. A very good program. So if they actually go online, they qualify, that's a free dog on us.
That's incredible. So you're here as Soldier Solutions and you work closely with them, but what are you like?
So what we do here, we actually work. We actually sell all the clothes.
Okay.
All these merchandise right here, the sauces, the hot glasses. You know, you got hats, bags. You got a lot of cool little stuff to help support the cause. So that's what we're doing here.
Oh, that's amazing. So if people want to learn more about Soldier Solutions, where can they go?
SoldierSolutionsLLC.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Evan Preparis, originally from Long Island, but I live in Brookline, Massachusetts now, Boston.
So when people ask you where you're from, is that how you always answer?
Usually, yeah.
Okay. Because Mike and I have had this conversation, because when people ask me, I'm always like, oh, I'm from New Jersey, but I live in Massachusetts.
Yeah. I still have some of the New York accent a little bit, and I'm not like a Boston native, and I've lived here for like a year and a half, so.
Do you associate with the people of Boston? Or are you just kind of like, I live here?
I just kind of live here.
That's fair. That's how I feel too. But anyway, what are you doing today at the expo?
So I'm here with my booth, Strength and Speed, which I've been on obstacle running adventures so many times, too many to count at this point. But I'm selling Bleg mitts, so they're still the only U.S. seller of Bleg mitts, even though sales have slowed to a crawl since Toughest is no longer a thing. And then I've got all of my obstacle course racing books. So I've written, I think, 8 books on obstacle course racing, and then another 5 related to martial arts combatives.
Going back, I think this might be your first Katelyn Ritter interview on Obstacle Running Adventures.
It is. That is true. This is a first, so that's exciting.
So you don't know what's going to come out of my mouth and ask you.
That's true.
So you've recently transitioned out of the OCR world and into martial arts. What made you finally decide to make that transition?
At some point, I stopped having fun in OCR. And I've been doing it for a decade, racing 15 to 20 times a year. And it was great, and I loved every minute of it. Not every minute of it. Towards the end, I stopped enjoying myself. Right. And that kind of went on for about 2 years. And people were like, you're still racing? It's like, yeah, it'll come back. And it just never came back. And I hit a lot of the milestones I was shooting after. I was trying to get 100 podiums. I hit that milestone. I ran out of ideas for these insane ultra-distance challenges that I used to raise money. And I was getting a little bit older. I could feel my body slowing down. And I thought it was time to step back and let someone else take the spotlight. Sometimes as an athlete or like a high-profile athlete, whatever you want to call it, I don't want to take away from people who are up and coming in the sport. And I thought, based off the timing and how I was feeling, it was a good time for me to step back and let someone else move into that spotlight.
That's totally fair. So when you did your 7 days on your treadmill, was that a point in your OCR career where you weren't really enjoying it and you just and you still went out and you fundraised and you did all these crazy events?
So in the moment, no, I was not enjoying myself. Right. As a larger picture, I was still enjoying myself.
Okay, that's good. Do you know roughly how much money you fundraised?
So it was close to about $30,000 over the events for all 7 ones I did. And then because I actually was the coordinator for Infinite Hero Challenge, the Tough Mudders event, they raised about $25,000, $30,000 as well.
Wow. So because of you, there's been about $60,000 in donations.
Yeah, I'd say 50 to 60.
That's incredible. How does that feel?
Feels good, I guess. I don't know. I put it I check it and it goes into the past and then I look forward towards the next thing. Yeah.
Do you have any other crazy adventures coming up? Anything that people should be keeping an eye out for?
Unless you're in the martial arts combative space, not really. I teach for a brand called Tiga Tactics. We do in-person seminars. I have a Patreon page where I teach online. A lot of it's knife combatives, which is super niche, but it's fun.
I see your knife videos sometimes, and I'm just I feel I would accidentally really hurt myself.
You got to be careful. There's a lot of people will use trainers when they practice, and they start doing things you wouldn't do with a real knife. So it can build some really bad habits. But the cool thing about knife combatives in general is knife, pen, screwdriver, any small object, it works the same way. Yeah. And you can carry a pen basically anywhere. So
That's true. And I know I've seen you've done some general safety things. So as a woman who sometimes runs at night, is the pen the way to go?
I would go with something as a woman, I'd go with something a little more.
Like what?
So small blade, if it's legal in your area. Okay. Pepper spray is also a good one. And then a lot of it's situational awareness and decision making. So like you can cut down a third to 66% of attacks just by making good decisions, right? Like a lot of attacks are domestic disputes or people you've been in arguments with, or you get in, or you know, it's a road rage thing and you get into an argument with someone and then it escalates, right? So if you're just like a nice person and hang out with good people, you will 2/3 of the attacks go out right out the window. There's always that random percentage, and that, again, situational awareness, you know, not wearing too big earphones. I wrote a book called Run If You Can, Destroy If You Must. It's essentially a runner's guide to self-defense. So I'd recommend people pick up that book.
Evan, I don't have a lot of situational awareness. Mike will be the first person to tell you. But when I started street running, he got me those like the headphones that don't go in your ears. So hopefully that helps.
No, that's one of the things I recommend in my book. So very good thing. And then again, whatever your tools you keep for self-defense, you keep them along your waistline in front. Okay. That's like a really good position to access from. And then understand that no one's coming to help you. Right? Like you can pull all the alarms, you can scream all you want. Like it's up to you. You have to fight back and you have to be very aggressive. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, if people want to learn more about you, because you have a fascinating history, military veteran, OCR, when I think of like ultra events, I think of people like you. I remember the first World Toughest Mudder I ever went to was in 2018 in Georgia, and you were like famous. Like Mike would be like, "Yeah, that's Evan," and he runs with the man in all green. Like, so you just have like such a fascinating like journey to where you are now. So if people want to learn more about you, where can they find that information?
So everything's under Ultra OCR Man. So my Instagram handle at Ultra OCR Man, my Facebook's facebook.com/Ultra OCR Man, my website, ultraocrman.com. You'll find links to everything. Again, ultra distance racing, OCR, martial arts, and then I'm also in seminary to become an Orthodox priest. So if anyone has any Christianity questions, struggling with faith, I've gone through that whole process and been like, what are the chances I was born in the right religion? It's probably pretty low. And I basically walked logically, my opinion, from is there a God all the way to am I in the right denomination?
And now you're in school to be a priest.
I am. So 2 more years I'll get ordained, God willing, and then I will move back to the Midwest.
Oh, not back to New York?
No. So the Orthodox Church, kind of like the Catholic Church, is very structured and hierarchical. Okay. So I essentially have a boss already who controls the Midwest, and he's pulling me back. He likes me, and I like him. He's a great bishop.
That's good. That is crazy. So 2 more years. It's crazy to me that you can become a priest. Like, not you specifically, but like, yeah. That's just like, because I think of like Catholic priests, and I know like you wouldn't fit into like that bucket. So like the fact that you can go be a Greek Orthodox priest is like fascinating to me.
Yeah. So Orthodox priests can be married as long as you get married before you get ordained. So you can't get married. You can't get married after you get ordained, right? Because you can't have your priest like hitting on the parishioners. It's like a socially unacceptable thing to do, right? So I'm married. I got 2 kids, happily married. I can't get remarried if something happens.
Okay.
So I'm all, not that I wasn't in it before, right? But I'm all in.
You're like, okay, we're in this for life now.
Yeah, she's locked in. So
that's so funny. Thank you so much, Evan.
Thank you.
Frank Rizzo, Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Perfect, Frank. And then what are you here representing today?
Operation Enduring Warrior. It's a 501c3 charity that honors, powers, and motivates veterans, first responders, and active duty military.
Perfect. And what kind of things are you motivating them to do?
Archery, skydiving, OCR, other types of things, public speaking, venture racing, DECA, Spartan, Tough Mudder.
So anything that anybody might need like a little extra push to get involved in.
It's all about mindset, and some people do need that little extra push to show that they can do it again and they can be empowered to do amazing things.
I love that. How did you get involved in the organization?
I got involved in the organization through Molly and Earl Granville, 2 of our amazing MAT team members, as well as some other folks within the organization.
I love that. If people want to learn more about Operation Enduring Warrior, where can they find more information?
EnduringWarrior.org.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Michael Stefano from Taunton, Massachusetts.
The microphone's over here, so I'd appreciate it if you talked into it.
How's this?
I think that might be too close.
Yeah, I think it's so too. I might have just caught something there.
Can you tell me what you're representing today?
I'm here representing Obstacle Running Adventures, a podcast that's been going since 2017, covering obstacle course racing, now hybrid, FKTs, all things adjacent to athleticism and sport stuffs.
That's fascinating.
Yes.
How did you get involved in the OCR community?
Oh boy, we're really getting into that. So 2012, a buddy told me, like, hey, you should try this Spartan race thing. Or supposedly I told him. Either way.
That's the version I've always heard.
Yeah, so I have a bad memory, so I'm better off recounting his. But yeah, we did our first Spartan race in Amesbury back in 2012. And as soon as I hit the first obstacle, like...
I hate this part of the story.
Oh, something primal woke up inside of me, and I'm like, I love this shit. And yeah, I just love OCR, and it's done a lot for me, so I want to find a way to pay it forward. And that's what I've been doing here with the show. Me and my co-host, which I haven't been able to find for most of the event, but when I do find her, she's doing interviews, which is great. Yeah.
Me and my co-host.
Talking a lot today. Like, I feel like I've been talking more than when I typically do interviews. So it has been a decent amount of people for the table.
If people want to learn more about Obstacle Running Adventures, where do they go?
Yeah, you can go on all podcast players to find us. We're on Instagram, Facebook. You can go on the OCR Report website.
What's the OCR Report?
So they do live streams, or now like race live to tape kind of thing. But since Spartan's not really paying to have live coverage, there's no NBC, there's none of that stuff anymore. We want to keep eyes on the sport, so we're doing what we can, spending thousands of dollars of our own money.
Your own money?
Yep. This is how you found out. We're broke. We're broke. This is why I had to work at the paper store.
Does somebody named Billy run the OCR Report?
Yes, Billy Hicks. Billy Hicks, he's just a young lad with a full head of hair. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Hey, I'm Stephen Pasanante from Rockland County, New York.
Perfect. And what are you here representing today?
I represent Strides for Service. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. We help first responders and veterans through physical health. So we'll do rucks, walks, workouts, hikes, all to benefit that like physical aspect to help the mental aspect.
I love that. How did you get... Are you the founder, how did you get involved with Strides for Service?
I'm a co-founder. My other co-founder, John, ran a ruck out in Rockland County, bumped into him, fell in love with it. We talked a little bit afterwards, said we could do this ourselves. So we started our own nonprofit, Strides for Service, and that's where we've been since.
I love that. How long have you guys been around for?
Been about 2 years now.
And so how you're getting people like out of their comfort zones, you're trying to like boost their endorphins, get that dopamine up. What has that been like from somebody who's like the co-founder to see this come into fruition?
How much it's grown has been insane. The amount of people we've met along the way from doing these tabling events, Spartan races, hosting our own events has been just amazing. Seeing all the groups that get built within it, people hanging out afterwards, people doing their own physical things without us even needing to be a part of it has been such an awesome experience, bringing that community camaraderie all together. It's the goal. That's why we did it.
Right. How could somebody that's not a veteran or like in a public service position get involved?
Everything's open to anybody, right? We try not to box anybody out. We love working with veterans and first responders, but we love just making that impact more. So if you follow us on Instagram, Strides for Service, we also have our website, Strides for Service as well. And just follow us, check out what we got going on. We're always hosting events. We try to do 4 big ones a year. We got a really big one coming up in October, October 17th in Rockland Lake, New York. So we'd love to have anybody by. It's just pay to play, come in, pay, make a donation, and kind of ruck with us, meet the community.
That's awesome. How long are your rucks typically? Like, are we expecting like a 5K, 10 miles? What is it?
Yeah, so we kind of transitioned from a bunch of different ones. We have longer ones. This one in October is a little bit shorter. It's going to be about that 5 mile kind of range, 5 to 10 miles, just about. We try to make it super accessible for anybody that wants to come join us. And we just want the community. So we try not to do anything too crazy. John and I will host our own little longer ones, but traditionally like the community ones are a little bit shorter.
Do you have guidelines on like how heavy ruck packs have to be, or it's really open to anybody who just wants to try?
Yeah, anybody who wants to come try. Your ruck could be packed at 60 pounds, or you can just have a couple water bottles and some snacks in there. We really don't make it too hard. Again, we want this to be as open and accommodating to people as possible.
I love the inclusiveness of it, so that's super cool. And I feel like that's a good way to start off rucking. Are most of your events in New York?
Yeah, so the majority of our events right now are in New York, trying to branch off a little bit into that tri-state, that Connecticut, Jersey, and Pennsylvania area. but anybody who wants to like kind of help us host, doesn't even have to be a big event. If you've got a rucking club, we'd love to come by and just like make it a little bit bigger, have a big event, and help out first responders and veterans.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Jarrett Newby, Binghamton, New York, Noob Sanity.
Perfect. Tell me a little bit more about Noob Sanity. I feel like you guys are kind of like the New York.
Yeah, we're great at building obstacles, not always great at marketing, but we are a facility that has a 3.5 mile OCR course that has obstacles that are big, like we go toe to toe with any national brand. We have, you'll hit 20 real obstacles on a 3.5 mile loop. We do 6 events throughout the year, 4 obstacle, 2 trail, from winter to summer to spring. Our biggest event of the year, though, is Mud Gauntlet. For this year is May 9th, so we have prize money for the elite race. Usually we'll have people coming up from mid-Atlantic states all the way through the Northeast, a very competitive race. But then we also have the event set up where, it's fun for age group people. It's fun for open waves, just a lot of things going on, vendors, etc. And a great OCR community that we've built there. So when people come in from out of town, I think even though the obstacles are national class, I think the community is one of the things that people walk away from going like, I can't believe there's this many other people that love OCR in this small area. And it's like you're instantly best friends.
Right, because you're in Binghamton, right? Yeah. It's not like an Albany, it's not like a Syracuse, but you guys are stacked with athletes.
Yeah, so we're stacked with athletes on the high end and also on the fun end. I always say if you show up at a Spartan or a Savage or whatever it is, like you're going to see some Noob Sandy people on they might be on top of the podium and they might be controlling the beer tent too. Like we've got the whole range of people in our group, and it's just a super fun group. And we do it because we love OCR, and I think that shines through at the events that we host. Just we do so many things in this community. We know what we would like to see in an event, and we're able to share that with other people.
Absolutely. What kind of obstacles do you have at your events that people might be intrigued by?
We have a big quarter pipe that's called Rip Curl. It's 15 feet tall. One side of it is kind of like Ninja Warrior, so if you're a superstar and you want to get that done in the race, but then we have tiered difficulty on our obstacles too, so that you're not just out there doing burpees. So if you can't get the Ninja Warrior type lane, the middle lane has ropes hanging down, and then on the far side of it, we have a big cargo net with ropes hanging down that kids do during our kids' nights in the summer. So anyone can do that obstacle, and anyone can be challenged on that obstacle. And that's what we have on a lot of other unique obstacles on our course, whether that be how we set our grip rig up with multiple difficulty options, to like anchors away type obstacle, but with our own twist where you're hanging with rings and anchors, and then you're into more of like, pegs, monkey bar, and then you're back to rings. Just a lot of unique obstacles where we've been to all these obstacle courses all over the country, and we know what we like and what we think is fun. And when we see something that we think is fun, we try to build our own version of it. Like not a one-for-one copy, but just go, this felt fun. How can I replicate that feeling and that difficulty, that challenge, and do it in a way that is us? That's a little bit different. Like, can we make it better? Can we make it different? So right. I think people will see a lot of things that are kind of like their favorite obstacles, but not quite. And maybe they'll like ours a little bit more. We have a new one a couple years ago that's called the Beard, where you hop on a rope and you swing on a rope and you catch a diagonal cargo net, and then you go under the cargo net and you climb up this little thingy. And what's really fun is like it reminds you of being a kid where you jump on a rope swing, and it's fun. Like it's just fun. And not everybody can complete the obstacle, but almost everybody can jump on the rope and swing. Like that part's cool. We have a zip line now that goes over the water, and the best people can hold onto the zip line and skim across and make it almost to the end, and it's super super fast if they're racing, but everybody else kind of lands in the middle, and that's cool too. And then you go trucking out of the water, but you just did a zip line and you're an adult, and that's kind of fun. Right. You don't have to pretend like, oh man, like my kid does this, I guess I will. Like, this is for you. This is for adults.
I love that. And it's a permanent course, right? Like, this is in your backyard.
Yes, this is here all year round. we have the obstacle side, which is like 3.5 miles. And then we have where we host some of our trail races on the other side of our property. It's another 3.5 mile course. There's no man-made obstacles, but we have a lot of, I'd say Spartan-esque terrain where you're either going up, you're going down. We have some ropes on hills because it's so steep, and that's our backyard. And I try to be appreciative of it, and that it's not lost on me. But it is cool.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it your dad that kind of started this, or was it you?
So we started doing events together. So we did one of the first Tough Mudders ever in the U.S.
Oh, that's awesome.
So in 2011, we did the first one at Englishtown, New Jersey, because we grew up racing motocross there.
Okay.
And we ended up doing World's Toughest Mudder that year. And my dad was trying to figure out how he could train for it. I was living out in Indiana at the time, and he's always owned a construction company. But the course started off as a place for us to train, and it was just like a ladder and a tree and rocks, and probably some of the same things that people listening to this do at their own house. Right. Where you go, I got a wall now, or like, now I got a spot for monkey bars. But over time, we don't know when to stop. And every year we try to build a new obstacle. We love having our friends over and sharing fitness. So when we were building stuff, we didn't just build one lane, we'd build 5. Right. And eventually we had some of our friends over, like, let's do a race. I think this was 2014 was our first event that we did there. And it was just inviting our friends over to go, hey, come practice something before we all go do Tough Mudder together. And like 100 people showed up, and they're like, this is awesome. Yeah. So we kept doing it, and I always worked out on Wednesdays. So I just was like, hey, if anybody wants to work out with me, come work out with me. And it started with just a couple of our neighbors, and now on any given Wednesday night in spring, summer, fall, you might have 50 to 70 people that show up for a workout in a town of less than 2,000. Like Binghamton itself is bigger, but like the little mapped out we're from in town of Barker, I mean, we're rural. And so you get like half the town to show up for an obstacle course workout, and it's pretty fun.
That's amazing. And then also, you do some like crazy event in your underwear, right? No, maybe?
We always have a twist on the events that we do. So one of our events is called the Frozen 4. And underwear would be legal, but we have a bathing suit class. So it's February in upstate New York, and you will see some people for the comedy of it maybe show up in the bathing suit class in their tighty whities or something. But really the idea was, hey, it's never that bad. You can go out, you can do things. It's the middle of winter, and there's all these people who are saying, I'm not even going to work out or run or race until spring. And we always were on the fun side of crazy, and we're like, it's not that bad. Not only can you race, but we're going to do it in our bathing suits. Yeah. So it's totally optional. There's no reason to do it other than it might be fun. And usually 3/4 of our field ends up signing up in the bathing suit class. And if you show up in regular clothes, a lot of times the next year you're like, okay, darn it, I'll do it in my bathing suit.
Yeah, a little bit of peer pressure.
Yeah, good peer pressure. Yes. But we have everybody. The one thing I'll say is anybody in our rucking division who decides to do bathing suit class, they usually don't, again, just because the chafing from the backpack is an unforeseen obstacle that they have run into.
Right. I can only imagine.
So we always try to give people a heads up on that one, but if people still do it, they should get an anti-chafe sponsorship for that one, because their backs are lathered up for that event.
Squirrels Nut Butter, if you're listening, reach out to Jarrett.
That is really what it is. That's our go-to. So not a sponsor, but a big fan of the show, always listening to Squirrel Nut Butter type plugs.
Perfect. And if people want to learn more about you, I know you said your marketing is not the greatest. Where can they learn more?
I think if you go on our Instagram page, I think that tells a pretty good story. We've been trying to do a better job about it. Actually makes me feel old. One of the little kids that started at Noob Sandy when we first started off is now in charge of our Instagram page. So it should be a lot better than when myself and my wife were doing it. But she just graduated with a degree in that. So makes me feel old. Yep. But at the same time, hopefully you're seeing our Instagram page or our website or our Facebook page, and you're saying, okay, I get a feel for when the events are, what their community's like, and this is something that I want to go check out. What I always tell people is if you have questions, send us a message. We have regular jobs. You might not get an answer in 5 minutes, but we will get back to you. We do want you at our events, and I think if you come and you try one of our events, you're going to enjoy it. And hopefully you'll get to meet other people in the community. So not only when you come back to other Noob Sandy events, you feel like family, but when you're at the other events you go to for OCR in the Northeast or in the U.S., you're going to start seeing Noob Sandy shirts, and you're going to go, oh, I know them. And they're going to come up and start talking to you, and you're going to talk like you were long lost friends in high school because you share the same passion for OCR that we share.
I love that. Perfect. Thank you so much. Also, I need to know, how tall are you?
I am 6'4". I was used for a ticket raffle arm's length thing.
You got me 60 raffle tickets.
Yes, I have long arms also for somebody who is 6'4". So nobody listening to this can pull this trick, but for an arm's length, just bring your friends over at your booths.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
I'm Danielle Hoffman from Indiana.
Oh my gosh, and what brought you to the expo today?
I've heard nothing but good things about the expo, so I knew I wanted to come for months. And
that's totally fair. And then what product are you representing today?
I'm here with Berserker Brew Coffee.
Okay, and can you tell me a little bit more about the brand?
Yes, it's all organic, fair trade, the highest quality, the smoothest coffee you'll ever drink. It's engineered for athletes, so we make it good with no extra fat or sugar in it. You can just enjoy it the way it is.
That's awesome. And then I saw you guys have some really cool coffee, names.
Yes, we have First Attack as our dark roast. Kraken's Release is our highly caffeinated one.
That's awesome. How did you get involved with the company?
I've been with Berserker Brew since December. I've been a customer for maybe 5 years. I would always see him at races, and I would say, are you going to be at this race or this race? And he'd say, well, if you contact him and ask him to invite me, then I will. So I'm actually the event coordinator, so I call around and I called New England OCR Expo to get us here.
I love that. Perfect. Where can people learn more about it?
Check out berserkerbrew.com. You can also find us on Instagram at berserkerbrew and on Facebook.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Mark Haverland from northern Minnesota.
Mark, it's nice to meet you in real life.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
And what are you representing today?
I am the founder and president of the Teddy Bear Crawl Foundation.
Perfect. And so you guys have a dunk tank at the expo this year. How did you pull that off?
Actually, it was just an idea that we came up with, and the expo's like, guess what? We're going to give you a dunk tank. So the expo actually sponsored the dunk tank to be here. And it seems to be a lot of fun.
That's amazing. So tell me how it works. Can I nominate anybody to go in the dunk tank?
We have set people that will go in, but if you want somebody to go in, sure, have them come over. We'll throw them in there.
I would love for Mike to go in the dunk tank.
Get him over here.
I don't know if he has a change of clothes, but that could be a fun surprise.
Guess what? We sell some t-shirts. He can change into the t-shirts when he's done. But yeah, get him over here. Donate $5, you get 3 throws. If you donate $100, you get 1 throw and a Spartan race code. And if you actually hit on that throw, you get a second Spartan race code.
Wait, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a great way to get people some really cheap race codes, make this event even a greater, product for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. All the money we're raising for the dunk tank, it's all going to our Climb for Hope initiative for bringing foster children to obstacle course races next year, as well as our rebuilding a school over in Tanzania.
I love that. And then can you just tell the people, in case they forget, a little bit about the Teddy Bear Foundation?
The Teddy Bear Crawl Foundation, we do half-mile bear crawls, and we raise money to bring teddy bears to local children's hospitals to wherever that event is held. Right now, we have a hospital local to Boston here. I don't remember which one it is exactly.
Is it Hasbro?
Not this year. I think it's like Gaylord.
Gaylord in Connecticut.
Okay, yes, that. They're going to be the recipient of the donations for the Teddy Bear Crawl here. But yeah, we just want to bring that comfort to these children when they're in that uncomfortable position.
I love that. And if people want to learn more about the Teddy Bear Crawl Foundation, where could they learn more?
We have our website. It's teddybearcrawl.org. Otherwise, you can find us on Facebook, Teddy Bear Crawl Foundation.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Joey McGlamry, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Perfect. And what are you representing here today?
I am here with my organization, Dealers of Hope Foundation USA, as well as Dealers of Hope Foundation Tanzania.
Oh, that's incredible. So what is your role with Dealers of Hope? What is your position in the organization?
Sure. I am the one of the co-founders and CEO of the foundation, yes.
That's incredible. What inspired you to start Dealers of Hope or co-start?
Wow. Well, it started years ago, honestly, in 1996 when I had the opportunity to volunteer for the Paralympics.
That's incredible.
And I fell in love with watching those athletes get out there and give 150%. And I promised myself that at some point I would be a part of something that directly impacted people with disabilities. And fast forward to 2012, I joined up with an organization called More Heart Than Scars initially. And then after a few years with them, one of my athletes, Erica Bogan, and I decided, we need something a little bigger. And so we decided to start both the Dealers of Hope foundations here and also in Africa, in Tanzania, Africa. And we not only help folks with physical disabilities, but many of them with folks mental health. Because we all struggle. And there's so many disabilities out there that people just don't talk about in the mental health community. So that we advocate for that. We advocate for people who are struggling with suicidal thoughts. I've personally been involved with the suicide campaign since 2012.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we want to give people hope. I mean, that's why we named it Dealers of Hope. Because there's nothing like starting with someone who is just so down and out. And then whether it's crossing a finish line at a Spartan race or a Tough Mudder or helping someone summit Mount Kilimanjaro, the smile and then their confidence levels are so boosted. It's just amazing. It really is to see that. And now it's just my passion, and that's why we do it.
I want to go back to talking about the Paralympics.
Yeah.
I'm a special education teacher. My husband is a BCBA, so he works with early intervention with autistic children. Okay. And I always tell people, yes, the regular Olympics is cool, but the Paralympics, to overcome having some kind of disability and say to yourself, I'm going to go try X, Y, and Z with modifications and adaptations, and then to make it that big is so incredible to me.
Listen, Katelyn, this was at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll never forget, just like it was yesterday. One of the Swedish Paralympic swimmers, he was born with stumps, arms and legs. This guy, his name is David Lega. He wound up winning 6 gold medals in swimming, beating folks with partial, more limbs than him. But just to watch him go through that water, I'm getting chills just thinking about it now, was purely amazing. Yeah. And even at the time, and I forget his last name, but his first name was Stephen, the 100 meter or the 40 meter runs. This guy was the amputee, above the knee amputee with one leg. And at the time, Carl Lewis held the Olympic record. And he was only 7 seconds behind Carl Lewis.
Wild.
And just to watch that and to see, those people out there doing that, to me, are the true athletes. Because those of us who are able-bodied, we really don't have excuses.
Right.
But when you see these people out there, I was fortunate enough to be with not only the Swedish team, I had the Belgian team and the Latvian teams. I was their chauffeur.
That's awesome.
And so they invited me to everything.
Yeah.
Seated volleyball, seated basketball, swimming, track and field. It was amazing.
That sounds like such an incredible experience. I'm jealous you've gotten to experience that.
But and now we do the same thing, but it's obstacle course racing, or trail running, or triathlons, or summiting Mount Kilimanjaro. Yeah. It's truly amazing to just give people hope and give them a purpose.
Right, because I feel without a hope and without a purpose, it's very hard to be you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wake up tomorrow and do X, Y, and Z.
Right. It's what I do. It's why I wake up every morning as well. Because I know today I get the opportunity to make a difference in someone. We, as an organization, not me personally.
Right.
We get to make a difference in someone's life.
Yes. So you guys are huge mental health advocates. Yes. How can, if somebody's struggling right now, what should that person step be? And then, as somebody, if it's somebody you love, how can you help them with a mental health crisis?
Well, if it's an immediate crisis, I will direct them to, thank goodness we now have the 988 suicide crisis and hotline. So that should be everyone's first option if they are in serious, thoughts going on in their head, especially if they're suicidal thoughts, because they need to get on the phone with someone right then. But if you're looking for coaching, or if you're looking for advocacy, or if you're looking just to talk to someone just because you're just down and out, maybe it's the loss of a spouse or a loved one or whatever you're going through, you can reach out to us online at dealersofhopeusa.org. And you reach out to us that way. We're all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, we're everywhere.
I love that. And it's true. I feel like I say this, I like put my teacher hat on. I'm like, we are in a mental health crisis I teach third grade, but like as young as third grade, I'm seeing that there's mental health crisis all the way up to people of all ages. And so thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for raising hope and awareness and making it so that people feel less alone.
Thank you so much. It's truly our passion. It's what we do. So thank you for giving me this opportunity.
I do have another question. How did you find OCR? Like, what's the link between Dealers of Hope and OCR?
Well, in the community, I'm one of the OGs, because I started back in 2009.
Oh my gosh.
When a veteran, now he's a retired veteran from the Marines, invited me down to Columbus, Georgia, to do it's called the Military Mud Run. I mean, it was just so not even known back then.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it, just going through the woods, going through neck deep in just this black mud. And they had like an O course for the Marines. It was like a military style obstacle course. Right. And with a dad and a brother who are both in military, I absolutely loved that. Right. And then the next year I heard about this little known race called Spartan Race. And really,
just a little known race.
I mean, that's when they started in 2011. And that's just, I'm like, you know what? That's going to be because before that I was triathlete, marathon runner, but I'm like, I need something different. Yeah. And when I started with the OCR obstacle course racing, I just haven't really looked back. Yeah. And now I get to share that experience with other people.
I love that. And I feel like it's so healing because you're overcoming physical challenges, but it's also the mental challenges.
It is very, very mental. It's like when you think you can't, you can. You just have to keep pushing. And it's truly amazing what the human body can do when you really want it bad enough.
Absolutely. And when you have a community around you, too, that will say, like, no, you can do this.
Absolutely. And that's the one thing about our team, our team, is that we have such a great community. And our volunteers who are out with us just absolutely love helping other people. Yeah. So it's to have that community, that family attitude, the camaraderie, and the togetherness. It's a beautiful thing. Like I even have some folks here today who earlier this week got some bad news about someone who passed away in their immediate family. And she said to me, we're coming this weekend because we need the family. We need the smiles, we need the hugs. And you can't even tell now. I mean, it got them out of their headspace for a while. And that's what it's all about. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Perfect. This was such a pleasure to talk, Joey. Thank you so much. One more time, where can people find out more about your organization, Dealers of Hope?
Absolutely. Come reach out to us on dealersofhopeusa.org. That's our website. Or you can find us on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I think we even have a Twitter account. I don't keep up with all that, but I know we're out there on all of them.
Perfect. And then you also said you had another chapter in Tanzania. What are you doing over there?
Well, we Dealers of Hope Tanzania is there for helping the local folks in Africa, in third world countries. Because one thing that we discovered when we took my other co-founder Erica up Kilimanjaro in 2022 was how bad and how shunned people with disabilities over there are. We broke down and started crying when we saw this young individual literally scooting herself across a dirt road. She found out she was paralyzed from the waist down. And Erica, at that moment, she's like, I am going to move to Africa and we're going to start a foundation over here. No way. And we're going to help these local community. So now, from that, spawned our Winrika Adventures, which is our very own tour company, who we take people with disabilities and able-bodied people. Right. But our focus is on people with disabilities. We take them up to the summit, the rooftop of Africa, as it is known, the highest freestanding mountain in the world.
That's incredible. So does she live in Africa?
She does. She lives right at the base of the mountain.
Wow.
Yeah, in a little village called the Moshi town. And as a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to head back over there this September because we got 2 more groups going.
That's incredible. Thank you for everything you're doing in our local communities and communities across the world. I'm just I'm blown away.
Thank you so much.
You're
Katelyn.
welcome.
Hey guys, I'm Beth LF, and I'm here representing Athletic Brewing Company.
Perfect. And then I just discovered that you guys have mocktails. Can you tell me more about the mocktail line?
Yes, I'm super excited. We have their new mocktails, the Paloma, which is their grapefruit lime non-alcoholic beverage, and then we have the Moscow Mule, which is the cocktail-inspired. It's kind of like the ginger beer flavor, and they're very, very delicious and make you feel super fancy when you're on the beach.
I love that. And then is the lime and salt like a margarita?
Yeah, so I'm so glad you asked. The lime and salt, I just tried this morning, and I was a little hesitant because I don't know about the lime, but it's excellent, really great summer brew. It goes really well. This is a follow-up to their lemon radler, which is their traditional summer brew. So now we have the lemon and the lime, and it is excellent.
My husband loves the lemon radler, so
I give the lemon radler 11 out of 10. That is my absolute favorite all year round. If I had any today, it wouldn't be here. No, I'm just kidding. They did not send me any today, but I have the new one is the lime salt, which is really, really good.
I'm going to have to try that one too. How did you get involved in athletic brewing?
So I had a bit of an issue a few years back where I was borderline having a problem with alcohol, and I was in a really bad situation all in my life, bad relationship, bad job, mentally not good at all. I had to take some time away from alcohol. Resolved most of those issues, obviously not all of them because I still off-course race. And then started drinking a little bit again to see how it felt, and it didn't feel good at all, and made the decision 4 years ago, almost 4.5, 4 years sober, and athletic gets me through.
Congratulations on 4 years sober.
Thank you. And the one beer that I can depend on that's not going to taste like wet socks.
That is hard to do.
Which is very important. No one likes wet socks. And to see them inclusive to so many of the in the community that don't generally get included or seen, and giving back to a lot of those minority groups is awesome.
I love that. I'm sober by choice, but I always feel weird because it's like when I go to the doctor and they're like, how many drinks do you have a day? I'm like, 0, but I don't know. It's just not my thing. But I love being able to show up somewhere and have something in my hand, and then people are like, are you pregnant? Why aren't you drinking? And I'm just like, because I don't want to. So I appreciate that aspect of it too.
And it's nice to have something other than water with lime, soda tonic, just how, again, more inclusive where it's accessible to people who are pregnant, don't want to drink, are sober, have issues. Just a lot of what I hear representing athletic is that they do a 1-in-1, one a regular alcoholic drink and then do one non-alcoholic, which is a great way to cut back, a great way to enjoy the social setting but not have that heavy drunk feeling, which is awesome.
No, that is awesome. And where can people learn more about athletic brewing?
Athleticbrewing.com. They're in most grocery stores. I had to remember what state I was in because Massachusetts does have them in the grocery stores. Or download their Athletic Brewing app. You can order it right from your fingertips.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Jeff from Ellington, Connecticut.
Perfect. And what are you here representing today?
So I'm here representing 2 different places. So I have my online coaching business, MMB Performance Coaching. So I've been at this expo a few years now. So work with athletes, general pop all around the country. And then this past June, bought a gym in Ellington, Connecticut called Force Fitness. So basically we got the in-person gym doing small group training, personal training, and then we also have the online MMB Performance Coaching.
What does MMB stand for? Because your name is not MMB.
No, but it's got one of my initials in it. So initially when I built the LLC and the brand, I was like Moulton's Mind and Body.
That makes sense.
Right? So I was like, okay, my last name is Moulton, and then I'm all about mindset, my master's in sports psychology, so Moulton's Mind, and then Body, obviously physical fitness, so MMB. And then when I finished my master's in mental performance coaching, so sports psychology, I was like, ooh, I want to add a performance dynamic to it that attracts more athletes. Right. So that's where MMB became, or Moulton's Mind and Body became MMB Performance Coaching. So that's that transition it made and hopefully it gains a little bit more traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you recently bought a gym. What has that experience been like?
So it's been amazing. It's funny. It's super overwhelming and amazing. So I'm super grateful. If you asked me, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, I'm married, we bought a house, we got 2 golden retrievers, we got a new baby girl of 2 weeks old, we bought a gym. I would be like, this is insane, right? This is amazing. It's funny. I think it's easy to like get overwhelmed and not be grateful. So it's been amazing. The community has been great. Like my brand, Chase Discomfort, they're buying into the message, which is awesome. We have some athletes here today competing, which is super cool to see. But there's so many great things, but there's so many things that I just got to get better at. It's, I think learning how to balance life has been the hardest piece. So between time with the family, managing the gym, the online. So I think trying to get better at delegating and being efficient with my time has been the hardest part. But overall, I'm super grateful.
No, I know. This time last year, you were we didn't know that you were like talking about gym, but Bree and I were talking about like, starting a family and like not living near like your parent, like your own parents. So it's like funny to see that like within a year you like bought a gym and had a baby and like you have the dogs in the house. So that's like super cool.
It's been insane. And it's funny because I don't know if I was talking about this last year. So with having the baby, we were super excited because we were one of the people that had a miscarriage. We had a miscarriage. And so like having the baby that we're like super excited. We just kept trying and eventually we had one. Just happened to be the same month we bought a gym.
Wait, you found out she was pregnant the same month you bought a gym?
Yeah, so we've owned the gym for 10 months and baby was born 2 weeks ago. So it was like right in that same window. So everything was happening all at once.
How did you not just like spiral?
So she spiraled a little more than me. So she's the planner. So like we kind of planned but didn't plan. So it was a lot for her to kind of balance. For me, I'm kind of a free spirit, go with the flow. And I was like, we'll figure it out. It'll just work. Like I'll make more money or we'll make the gym work or like it'll all work out. So like, but then like, you get hit with curveballs and things like that. And it's just been like overall, like it started off harder than I expected it to be. And then you just ride these waves. But luckily, like, if you're looking at like a ticker climbing, it goes up and down, but it's trending up. Right. So things are going real well. I'm just looking at a dog walking around, sweet little puppy. So, but I'm super grateful. It's been really good. Like I got a great team in place. Like Lexi's here helping me, her fiance Quan, Ann's one of our coaches. So like them buying in and like supporting me has been huge because like, especially with the baby coming, like I had to be like out of the gym for weeks. And like, if it's just me, like it shuts down. So I've had a good team that's helped and that's been huge.
How has being a dad?
It's awesome and it's funny. Like I was the typical sporty dad that was like, or there's guy that was like, I would love to have a little boy. And then found out I was a girl. I was like super excited still. And then like instantly, like once you start looking at all the, like my Instagram feed turned to like girl dad. And then before we even like had the baby and I'm just like me having the gym now, like watching her getting pushed in a stroller and then the dad holding a thing, daddy's little girl and all these dad running and then her watching dad cross the finish line. And it's funny. It's a little selfish, but I like, can't wait where she can see what I'm doing and like do a race and have like cross the finish line watching like her dad do something and then same watching her like do whatever she does. But like I'm super excited to like have those moments of I already love doing everything we do here, the races and stuff. But to know like, for example, last week I did like a run. It was like a 10-mile run and I was like, I might do 8 because I'm already getting tired. And then I was like, what if I had to go home to my daughter's name is Olivia and she goes, how was your 10-mile run? And I did 8. So like even that in the back of my head is like, I have to set the standard now. And like, she's going to walk all over me. I told Brie, if it was a boy, I'd have a chance. She's going to walk all over me.
It's so different. But Mike and I rescued a dog and it's a girl dog and it has made Mike's like, where's my baby girl? And like he wakes up every morning. He's like, there's my girl. And I'm just like, I want to like, it's crazy because like, I can't wait to see him as a dad. And I'm like, he wants a daughter. And now I'm like, I can see it because this dog, he's like, come on, baby girl, come on. And I'm like, oh my God. Yes.
Kills your soul. And
yes.
Bree was the same thing. We wanted kids. I just didn't feel ready. But the dog thing is so true. And I know he was hesitant and you were like super into it.
Yes.
And now he's like, hello, little baby. Like he's just like, all right. And it's funny. It instantly, like when you're holding like boy, girl dog, doesn't matter. Like it just like they're so helpless and they just love you so much. And then like holding the little, Livia at like, and I'm holding her and she's like 6 pounds and I'm like, you are this precious little thing that I'm fully in charge. Like I'm your protector. Like, and it was funny. This is a little morbid, but I was like joking around with someone. And I've seen these Instagram videos are like, would you kill for your daughter? Would you kill for your son? And people were like, I don't know. And I'm like, I would do anything for this little, like I would throw you off a building for this little thing. So, but she's the best. I mean, I'm super grateful for her. Yeah.
Last year I was talking to Josh Fiore because my original plan was World's Toughest Mudder and then we were going to like ready to have a baby. And then I woke up the next morning and I was like, do you think I could have done 50 miles. And Mike's like, yeah, I think you could have. So like baby plans on hold for a little bit. But I remember Josh telling me, he's like, at the end of the day, you're going to have a baby one day and you're going to be able to look at that baby and be like, your mom's a badass. Like she can do and that's how I feel like with you is like, you're the badass. Like Olivia's going to grow up and be like, look at my badass dad. And Bree too. I don't want to like discount her, but you're here in front of me.
No, and Bree's is awesome. Like she's recovered well. She's already working out again.
That is insane.
And like, you know, her doctors are cleared her, but like friends and people at the gym are like, slow down, don't do too much. But like, she's feeling good, right? But what's funny is like she signed up for the DECA Fit in Boston. She's never done one, but she wanted to. So that like before the pregnancy even happened, she was like, I want to do this race to incentivize her to come out. And I'm like, it might be chaotic, but I'm like, we should bring Olivia. Like
get little baby headphones.
We have a Force onesie and stuff like that. Like we gotta like have her there. And if we have her there, like what kind of incentive is when you're dying on a course to like, you look over and your daughter's like, come on, mom, like that little thing. So same thing with me though. Like that's what I signed up for the DECA Fit. I got the Jersey Ultra coming up. And like now if I'm going to train for something, I have to be so efficient with my time and like be willing to sacrifice time away from the daughter to train. So if that doesn't keep you accountable or like make sure you actually try 100% or you're wasting your time that you could have spent with her, like that's a driver for me for sure. So
absolutely. Well, congratulations on the gym, becoming a dad. We're really excited for you.
I appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate all the support. You guys are crushing it. Keep doing your thing.
We will try.
My name is Michael Kelly, and I'm from Morristown, New Jersey.
No way! I got married in Morristown, New Jersey.
Morristown or Morristown? Which one?
Morristown.
Okay, that's the northern one.
Oh, you're from Morristown? Okay.
From the southern one down near Philadelphia.
Okay, I grew up in Morris County, so I grew up in Pequannock.
Grew up in Passaic County.
Wow, okay. What a small world. But what are you representing today?
Right now, I'm actually representing two organizations within the obstacle course racing community. The first would be Midwest OCR, which is also with Race Ready Obstacles, organization that many years ago, or several years ago at least, started building their own obstacles. They built obstacles for places such as Frontline OCR, Abominable Race, and others out in the Midwest. After a number of period of years, Aaron and Dana, who own the company, decided they wanted to put on their own race. So in 2024, they put on the Midwest OCR for the first time. It's located in Marseille, Illinois, and it's a 5K, 10K. There's kids races, many choices, just like any other races. It's on an off-road track called the Cliffs Insane. It's not a mountain race, it is a hill race, but it's very challenging. Much more challenging than a lot of others because a lot of their obstacles are upper body and grip related. Very excellent race, nice race if people want to travel to that neck of the woods.
Absolutely, and I've heard so many positive things about that race and Dana and Aaron. So thank you for being out here and representing at Midwest OCR. How did you get involved with them?
Well, I actually just found a race that I wanted to go to, something that was different. I bought some of their hanging grips and started using them first. Then I was supposed to race in 24, but circumstances just changed to where my first race was in 25. And that's when I actually met them. As far as why I'm here representing them, this is the time of year where they start building their races. So they're extremely, extremely busy. So I volunteered to help out here at the New England OCR Expo. And here I am.
Perfect. And then what other brand are you representing today?
The other brand that I'm representing is OCR Buddy. Tagline being every race, one place. OCR Buddy is an app that people can use. It's free on their phones. You can search for any obstacle course race that's on there in the country, in the world. You can search by whatever criteria you like. You can search by race brand. You can search by distance. You can search by country, city, state. And when you pull up the race, you can see where the race is. It'll have a link to the race website. It'll have a link to any hotels that might be in the area. If there's any discounts that are available for that particular race, the OCR Buddy app will have it.
That's awesome. I feel like everybody in this room and listening to this podcast needs to be using the OCR Buddy app.
Right, and I've actually interfaced with a couple of smaller races that are here on site that were not in the OCR Buddy app. So I've made them aware that they're making a mistake for not being there.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Mike.
Gabe Capobianchi from Obstacle Wonderland.
Perfect. And where is Obstacle Wonderland?
It is located in an hour and a half south of Albany.
Okay. What led you to start Obstacle Wonderland?
It was actually a product of the pandemic, right? I had recently lost some weight and got into Spartan racing. And just at that time, everything closed down. and I happen to have 16 acres in my backyard.
That is wild. I didn't realize that it was all like a COVID baby idea.
Oh, without a doubt, it was. Because I think a year or two before that, yeah, I kind of like lost weight and changed, things around. And then just as I did my first race, which was not Tuxedo, the one 2019. It was Sterling Forest. That one over there. It's not there anymore. That was my very first one, and then everything closed down. So it was So that's how it was born.
So what's your next Obstacle Wonderland event?
It is May 30th and 31st. It's called Rise of the Obstacle. It's a 2-part. 30th is the kids event, and we've actually the kids have historically been part of the adult program. We do the kids in the beginning, and then we do the adult race. But the last event we progressively had more and more kids. The last one we just had shy of 100 kids. Oh my God. And so, although the event went great, we decided to give them their own day and make it more of a kids' day. And with that, we'll have more kids-style vendors, and we'll just make it a fun day for the kids. And we have a 2-section course. One is similar to like this 100-meter, but it's a 50-meter for the kids, and give them an opportunity to feel like that ninja kind of hybrid, because it's outside, right? And then we also have a 1K endurance, which is more of a traditional Spartan race that they might be familiar with. So there's going to be 2, and they can leave with 2 medals. And we're also thinking about having. I'm lucky enough to be able to do the teddy bear crawl at my races. So
Are you the only non-Spartan teddy bear crawl event?
I think I am, yeah. And I thank those guys for allowing me to do it, because it really puts everything together between the kids race. And of course, I do all this 3D printing that's really monumental for the kids, right? A lot of teaching and very motivational for them. So we're going to think about having to do a teddy bear crawl for the kids on Saturday. Yeah.
And then you also have the adult course, right?
Yep, that'll be the day. So that's May 31st. And so there we're going to have a full-blown 100-meter course. Again, this is outside, right? So, but we're going to set it up as, it's almost going to be like a hybrid 100-meter. So, and we're going to have age group awards. We're going to have a top award, male and female, and then we'll have age groups underneath that. That's for the 100-meter. And then we also have the Endurance 5K, which is going to be more of a traditional. But you know what the great thing is I managed to put together the courses so they run separately from each other. I have enough equipment that you don't have to wait for one to the other. So you're going to be able to go on the 100-meter. You get 2 shots at it. And once you're done with that, you can actually, on your first attempt, you can go. You want to wait, chill out and wait, get back on. And once you've done your second one, then you can wait and then just start your 5K.
That's so efficient.
Because I set it up where I have 2 separate equipment, right? Yeah, it's good.
That's awesome. If people want to travel to Wallkill, New York and do Obstacle Wonderland, where can they learn more?
You go to our website, obstaclewonderland.com. I'm on Facebook, all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and I also have a small TikTok account that I throw stuff on.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Gabe.
Yeah, thank you.
Darren St. Jean from Goffstown, New Hampshire.
Perfect. And what are you here representing today?
I'm here with my obstacle gym in Manchester classes, hybrid fitness classes, and just general functional strength classes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we host a few practice races throughout the year. So once a month we have a practice race we host that simulates whatever the next upcoming race is in the area. Awesome. Yeah, and then we have a couple of competitive events we do. So we time people. We do top 3 awards for the male and female. And we got all the obstacles. We got rings, monkey bars, the rig, cargo net, rope climb, Z-wall. So pretty much everything you can name.
That's awesome. How long have you guys been a gym for?
About 1.5 years. So we opened in November of 2024. So
that's awesome. And what inspired you to open a gym?
I started doing OCR back in 2016, and I was working as a trainer. And I did a race with one of my clients, and just fell in love with it after that. and then just change my whole training style to be more based on OCR and helping people prep for races.
That's awesome. What kind of people do you typically have at your gym? Is like people like new to OCR, experienced athletes, a little bit of everybody?
Yeah, we get usually a little bit of everything. Like a lot of people will say they'll see in our videos, someone will be doing monkey bars or rings, and then they'll say, "Oh, I can't do that." But most of the people that come there can't do it when they first show up. So we teach you, we go through the techniques for everything, and so we get a little bit of everybody. We got younger people, older people, all fitness levels. So
that's awesome. I love that. And it's nice to see too, like people of like all body sizes and all body types. So that's really inclusive. And I love that. You're here also representing something else, right?
Yeah. So we also have the Northeast OCR community. I don't know if my wife wants to chat a little bit about it.
I will talk
Elizabeth,
to her.
Yeah.
Hi. Good. How are you?
Elizabeth St. Jean, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Perfect. And what are you here representing today?
I am here representing Northeast OCR community.
Perfect. And can you tell me a little bit, what is Northeast OCR community?
Yeah, we really felt there was a void in the community for like a Facebook group or a group that we could share our community events on, or gyms or other local organizations. So we decided, well, let's just create something. Right. Especially when we have pages out there that are run by Spartan and other businesses. We wanted something run by the people who are passionate about it. So that's really what it is.
I love that. So I recently is it like a newer group?
Yeah, very new. It's only a couple months old. So we are still getting our word and our feelers out there from all the community.
Starting a Facebook group feels really scary. And I feel like you don't know what's going to like wander into the group. So you've been very brave. Kudos to you. How has it been running a Facebook page?
So far, so good. It helps that we have great people in the community that have been like very open about introducing themselves and welcoming. And I think that's what's helpful is people who love this sport are great people. So far, it's helping all the scaries go away.
That's awesome. I'm a part of the group. It's actually funny. I am a part of the group. I didn't realize it was like a public group. So I posted on it and I talked about how like I run World's Toughest Mudder and I've been doing this since 2012 or whatever. And one of my coworkers the next morning was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that she's like, I thought like that 24-hour thing was just like a one-off thing that you've done before." And I was like, no, I don't care. But I was like, oh, people can see that.
We're airing out the dirty laundry. It's all over the place.
The dirtiest laundry I've ever worn. So,
especially in today's world when you're like virtual employed, people are really going to get to know you, I guess, now.
Right. But it's so funny because I've worked in the same school. This is my 6th school year there. So like people are like, "Oh, what other secrets do you have?"
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it was like a great opportunity to be like, "No, I've actually been doing this for like a very long time and like it's a great community." So thank you for spearheading that and good luck.
Thank you so much. Good to meet you.
You too.
So I'm Olivier Kozlowski from Mansfield, Massachusetts.
Welcome. And what are you representing today?
Human-powered endurance.
What is that?
So that is, we're pioneering the sport of weighted racing, which is something that we came up with. And it allows people to put strength versus speed. So you decide how much weight you're going to carry. We weigh that in and we multiply that weight by the distance you travel. So most of our races are, got a time limit of 6 to 8 hours, something like that. The laps are, 2.5, 3 miles, whatever. And so you can do as many laps as you want. And it's really up to you. Do you want to go heavy and maybe slower, or do you want to rack it up by getting speed in there and carrying light?
Oh, that's kind of like an interesting concept of like, do I go fast with less weight or more weight and go slower? So like trying to figure out the data and which way is the best route.
Exactly. And that's what we've been finding out as we do these things. So some very interesting situations we've seen. So
which option do people mostly do? Heavier and slower or lighter and faster?
I mean, it really varies on the person and what they feel comfortable with. We've found that like the overall winners tend to be consistently pretty heavy, but not oh my god heavy. And like when our very first race, we didn't have an award for heaviest lap. We decided from the second race onward that we were going to do that because some people were carrying some outrageous weights that really deserved recognition.
Like how outrageous?
So our overall in any race we've done is my friend Megan Campion, and she carried 126.51 pounds for 3 miles.
Wow.
So that was set at our New York race last year, and it hasn't been beat since. So she's already signed up for this year. So
That's incredible. What events do you have coming up?
So we have our first race in Roanoke, Virginia, April 11th. Okay. We've got second year in New York, June 20th, Ruck Around the Lake. And we've got the third annual where it all started in Mansfield, Mass. On October 17th.
That's awesome. If people want to learn more about your events, where could they go?
So we're on socials at Human-Powered Endurance. And we're on Insta at Human Powered Endurance with underscores in between the two words.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right.
I'm Shell, and I am from San Francisco Bay Area, but I'm living right now in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, fun. And what are you here representing today?
Lionhearts Fitness.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Lionhearts Fitness for somebody who knows nothing?
Lionhearts Fitness is a free fitness program for all youth. All ages. It's all run by volunteers. It's 100% free, 100% volunteers, and 100% provided by the community for the community. Started as a class of about 6, and now we are worldwide serving children everywhere, thanks to people like you and the community helping us do that.
That's incredible. How did Lionhearts Fitness get their start?
My son was the youngest is 7, and you can find a lot of this at thelionheartsmovie.com. So just go lionheartsmovie.com, and it has some videos and trailers for the movie, and you can see how we started. It's Luquetta is my youngest of 7, and yeah, I know, huh? And his best friend committed suicide when he was a teenager, a very young teenager, like 13, and I didn't know what to do for my son. And I was having, I still do, stage 4 liver disease, and so I didn't know, I was trying to stay alive, so I was doing Spartan races. Then I would not share them. They were all mine. I didn't want my husband to go, my kids to go, my friends to go. It was mine. Yeah. And but I didn't know what to do for my son, but it was working for me. So I took my son to a race. And in the car, he said, "We need this for all kids. Jake might still be here." So that's how we started. I've been in the music business for a million years. And we took everything that I had known in my little retirement from my health reasons, and we built Lionhearts the next week.
That's incredible. Do you know how many youth's lives you've impacted, or is there like an estimate number?
Well, they like to do impact reports. You know how they do that? But just in our facility alone, it's been thousands. And then if you go nationwide, it's been tens of thousands. And I think we've added another 10,000, no, probably about another 2,000 if you go worldwide.
That's incredible. So what started as a small act for your son has snowballed into a worldwide foundation.
Exactly. It started with, I think, maybe 6 kids in a gym class. And but it was the community that built it. We didn't. And they wanted more. They wanted more for their children. And then Spartan got on board. Actually, Savage got on board first. And then Spartan and Midwest OCR. And I can go on and on. War X, they all liked the mission, believed in the mission, supported the mission, and that's the only way we could do it, is because of them.
That's incredible. And it really only takes one person with an idea and people with an open heart and open arms, and it can really impact organizations and foundations.
Exactly. And I also think, no matter how old you are, he was just a boy. This was just a thought. And it went to idea to implementation. And so, but I think all ages, what is your thought? What is your vision? What is your dream? Overcome the obstacles, make it happen. I really do believe in idea to implementation and using the community to serve the community and help the community and use it as a resource.
Absolutely. And I feel like we're in such a world right now where there's just like a mental health crisis of I'm a third grade special education teacher from third grade up until adults. And I think getting people involved in community and moving their bodies, no matter how big or small the movement is getting outside, getting that vitamin D and that sunlight is crucial. And I feel like the mission that you're doing is just something that like everybody could use.
I agree with you, especially we have a lot of teachers on board, especially special ed teachers. We have a good amount of our youth that are autistic. You just don't know because we treat them all the same. We take the phones away and they nurture each other. And it's just a long story unto itself. But it works. I've had counselors from schools saying, what did you do to Joey? I said, I didn't. The community did. Okay. These guys working together, that's what did it. But people just don't think it can be done. Oh, I can't do that with my kid. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. And it's like, how do we show them that it can be done? That's why the movie shows it can be done. We can overcome obstacles. We're here to help each other. And it's like, no, what are you really up to? No, we're really trying to help the kids. No, come on. What's your ulterior motive? Oh, come on. It's like, no, I haven't taken a dime in 8 years, and I'm not gonna. They don't even pay for this travel. No, and either Lucetta, who's become a world-class athlete, doesn't take a dime from Lionhearts or from me. Okay, so it's not about that. It's for him, who's the next child that I can impact. Now we have a whole bunch of adults. And then this world right now is so negative that let's try to bring some positive and teach them how to overcome obstacles, whatever they are. Jobs, parents, life. But anyway.
You're teaching empathy. You're teaching inclusion. You're teaching that things can get done. I always have a mindset of like, I can do it for today. And then the next day I can do it for today. And it's just like, you've got to take it one day at a time.
And I guess I'm blessed with my liver disease. They keep giving me 2 weeks to live. And I keep living a couple more months and then a couple of years. And then I go back in. They say, oh, I'm sorry. You got about 2 weeks. And they keep saying that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. So you just only can live one day at a time. And I believe that that's benefited me because I don't have that whole fear factor. All I have is, the other F word. Just do it. Okay? Yeah.
Michelle, if people want to learn about the Lionhearts in their community or become involved, how do they do that?
LionheartsFitness.com. And that's our website. But all we do is provide. If they want to take some children to a race, contact us. We'll help them if they do community service. See, the only requirement to be a Lionheart is you must do community service once a month with Lionhearts. So a lot of people wanted races for their children, wanted to start in California, one in the UK. They asked me, I said, okay, you show me videos of you taking that group of people doing community service, and I will sponsor your race. Yeah. And then Spartan and Savage have afforded me the right to do that so I can send those codes to them as long as they're doing the community service. Not here. It's not a free here.
You have to give back to the community in order to be involved in the community. And I feel like community service is also a great way to get yourself involved. Find a community.
100%. And we don't charge you any money, so it's not going to hurt you to give back to the community. And that's really what it's all about, is learn about community instead of just yourself.
I love that. Thank you so much, Shell.
Welcome back.
Thank you to everyone that took the time to talk to us, both on and off the mic, but especially to our potential new listeners. Hope we got some new after the busy weekend.
Related episodes. Episode 164.
First annual New England OCR Expo preview with Steve Bacon Martin.
Episode 165.
New England OCR Expo and Party. That was in 2020, I believe, right?
Yes. Yeah. Episode 320.
The return of the New England OCR Expo with Steve Bacon Martin.
Episode 323.
The second New England OCR Expo with vendors.
Episode 381.
New England OCR Expo Part 1, vendors.
Episode 382.
New England OCR Expo Part 2, athletes, speeches, and staff.
Episode 432.
New England OCR Expo 2025. This is when I got smart and added the date. Part 1, vendors.
Episode 433.
New England OCR Expo 2025, Part 2, athletes, speeches, and awards.
Subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts. We are Obstacle Running Adventures and all the podcast players.
You can leave us a review. That doesn't do too much to help the show, but you can reach out to us on social media, talk to us.
We do like reading the reviews online.
Yeah, we only check Apple Podcasts, and sometimes we forget to check from other countries too, because they don't all go to the same place, which is kind of annoying. Patreon, you can support us for as little as $2, as many as $10. That helps fund our travels as we go and do more finish line interviews, and we're gearing up for World's Toughest Mudder, most likely. Haven't booked those flights yet, and that's going to be expensive and more expensive each day we wait, unfortunately.
No, last year we booked pretty late, and it was pretty cheap.
Yeah, there's some things that's going on this year that didn't happen last year, so...
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad. Coming up next, part 2 of the New England OCR Expo. That will be, I set up a mic at the table, and Katelyn peer pressured people into recording.
I feel like I was kind of...
You were very pushy, but it's the only way we got some people to talk. And my favorite, not that I'm supposed to play favorites, although I do have my favorite listeners, you know who you are, but there was a guy that came, and he's like, yeah, I've never run an OCR before. And Katelyn's like, well, sit down and talk about it. So I haven't had the chance to listen to all those yet, but I think that's really cool. It's just a fun way to make our table more interactive. So it's going to be that. It's going to be the Teddy Bear Crawl Foundation audio, the military panel, and the awards. And I missed the military panel. The mic was just kind of sitting there recording, so I have to go back.
Was I too pushy?
Listen to that. I think it's fine. If people didn't want to do it, they didn't have to do it, but I'm glad we got
I feel like I was only pushy to the people who were like hesitant. When people were like, no, I don't want to do that. I was like, oh, okay. But people were like, oh, I don't know. I was like, no, sit down.
Mm. And then you made like a nice little guide. We'll talk about it more next episode, but Katelyn made a nice little guide of like, say your name, say this, say that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Little cues. Katelyn, got a joke or a quote?
Yes. My quote is, you are sea glass. I hope you know you aren't broken glass. You are sea glass, shaped by the tide, softened by the waves, that once felt like they'd shatter you. What you've been through hasn't made you less. It's made you rare and luminous. Even the toughest waters can create something beautiful, and that's what you are. A reminder that survival can turn into art.
Nice. And do you have a joke?
I can find
Because I have one if you don't.
Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Don't look at the screen. Good. So the first man says, giraffes can grow up to 18 feet. Second man says, all the ones that I've seen only have 4.
It's hard to close your eyes and listen to a joke.
Yeah, it's very stupid, but I saw it. It laughed a little bit, so I'm like, I'll use that. But that just about wraps it up. My name is Michael Stefano.
And my name is Katelyn Ritter.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite podcast platform
so you don't miss our future episodes.
We would greatly appreciate it if you write a review,
reach out with feedback on social media,
and most importantly, share the show
with a friend or family member.
Our intro song was Streaker by Straight Up,
and our outro music is I'm Paul by The Best.
Tell me a little bit about what Neighborhood Ninja does.